Well, as many of us sit back and wait for the second half of Young Justice Phantoms, we've been doing these character breakdowns talking about what we think might be going on in the second half of the season. Last week we dug into part 1 of our Nightwing series, and today we're diving into part 2. Let's take a couple minutes to talk about what might be going on with Nightwing, but more importantly, some other bad characters like Jason Todd, Damian Wayne, and Tim Drake. I think there might be a lot packed into this arc. Now, before we dive in though, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button and ring the bell for all the updates. Also, the big giveaway. We got this Oculus Quest 2 to give away at 50,000 subscribers. All you need to do to get in on our giveaway is be a subscriber and leave us a comment. Also, while you're at it, make sure you check out that free Week of Skill share down below. It's a pretty cool way for you to develop all of your superhero skills for that never-ending war on crime, all while not diving too deep into your pocket. Plus, it really does help the channel, so we really appreciate it. Well, last week we talked quite a bit about Nightwing and what's going on in Young Justice Phantoms, as well as some of our predictions and theories about the second half of the season and his arc. Now, we did this in 2 parts, and today we're going to dive into part 2, which will focus on Jason Todd, Talia and Damian, and a little bit of Tim Drake. Now, Jason Todd is the big mystery character for the show. Fans have been clamoring for information since we first saw his hologram at the beginning of Season 2, and he has remained a mystery in many ways since. Now let's be real, he wasn't even fully acknowledged till this year technically, although we all knew who he was, and there's almost no details known about his time with the team. Check out our Lost Era video for that, but Jason existed in that niche of time that we really saw nothing from the show. Now let's be clear. The red-hooded ninja has to be Jason Todd. He did remember Dick Grayson in Season 3 when they had that encounter, so this makes me ask some pretty big questions. The last we saw Jason, he was sitting down and meditating with Onyx and with Jade. So that made me wonder if Jade or Artemis realize who this is, and if they don't, eventually they will figure it out. Now, as for him returning and his impact on Dick Grayson, that's going to be a big deal. It was pretty clear the emotional impact of his death was impacting Nightwing during Season 2. Remember him telling Tim not to get himself killed? Obviously, there's a lot of guilt surrounding this, and we'll probably explore a little bit about how this happened. I actually think Grayson will be a proxy, and this arc could involve a lot of Batman. I even have to wonder a little bit if we could see Dick Grayson, maybe not in this season, but in future seasons, actually become Batman like he did in the comics. It's not likely, but there is some serious potential. Now, I also expect a little bit of a flashback story of what happened to Jason. Not only do I wonder how Jason died in the series, obviously they're not against changing things when we look at what happened with Batgirl, but I do wonder if we'll get a passing of the mantle moment between Dick and Jason when Jason becomes Robin. All of this tied into that whole guilt package we know Dick Grayson is feeling. Now, the other big aspect of Jason's story is Talia and Damian. And quite honestly, I think they are a major seed for the future of Earth-16. Now, the last time we saw them when we were closing out Artemis's arc, Talia was obviously not happy. When Sensei talked about what they really were and how they really saw people, it was clear they aren't family. And even though Roz is her father, the lack of a loving family relationship seemed to really be weighing heavily on her mind, especially now that she has a child, Damien. They also have quite the bond with Jason Todd, aka the Red-Hooded Ninja. Now, I do believe he's somewhat brainwashed to protect him, but the interaction between the two and the way they're able to sort of lead Jason could play a key role in the resolution of this storyline. Again, I think he's been brainwashed or the resurrection process deeply impacted his memories, but I believe he trusts her, and because of that, she may be able to convince him, so she might be a key aspect in guiding him onto a new path. Now, many people are wondering though about Damien and his future as Robin. We've seen a lot of children on the show, but let's be really clear. With a 2-year time jump going on between most seasons, Damien is way too young for folks to think about an appearance in the show as Robin. This could happen in the future, absolutely, but I'm not expecting it this year, and I'm certainly not expecting it next year, so don't hold your breath. The other big aspect of these two characters returning is how it impacts Tim Drake. As of right now, Tim is still somewhat being mentored by Dick Grayson, although we haven't really seen a lot of him since Season 2. With Jason and Damian potentially being around in the series, you have to wonder if it's time for a costume upgrade for Tim Drake. I know many of us would like to see him take up the Red Robin persona. The costume looked wicked cool in Death in the Family, and that kind of evolution is exactly what this show often focuses on, and for Tim, I think it's about time. Now, we did get a new trailer over the last week, and it featured probably a half a second of Nightwing footage. This might have been disappointing for some, but it leads me to believe his arc will be a big focus of the final story resolution, and because of that, it wasn't shown in the trailer because, spoilers. We know how Greg Weisman hates a spoiler. As for Nightwing specifically, I actually think last season gave us a couple of clues. We closed out the season with Nightwing telling Black Lightning he would follow his lead and returning to the covert team. I really don't see many scenarios where Dick doesn't take up leadership of the team once again, so I really hope whatever the overreaching storyline is for his arc, it does focus on him returning to that leadership position. I'm a Nightwing fan, and I really do want a bit more of him in this season. So do you think Jason Todd, as well as Talia and Damien, return to Gotham City during the Nightwing arc? And if so, what emotional impact do you believe this will have on Dick Grayson? I have to say, the guy feels guilty and it has to impact him greatly. Sound off in the comments below. If you like this video, make sure you press like, click subscribe, and if you don't ring that bell, you're not going to get any updates. Peace.